Let's get one thing straight. Irresistibility has nothing to do with age, wrinkle creams, or wearing a size 4. Some women walk into a room at 67, and everyone turns their head. It's not magic, it's habit. You've seen her before. She's not the youngest or even the loudest, but something about her draws people in. It's grace, it's depth, it's presence. And guess what? That kind of allure doesn't fade with time. It grows. But here's the secret. It doesn't just happen, it's cultivated through small daily choices, habits you and I can build, no matter our age. In a world obsessed with youth, older women are too often overlooked, but I believe your best years can also be your most powerful. This video isn't about how to look younger. It's about how to feel magnetic, live beautifully, and carry yourself with the kind of confidence that turns heads and hearts. I'll share 15 powerful habits, rooted in psychology, self-respect, and lived experience that make a woman over 60 absolutely unforgettable. Some of these may surprise you. Some you may already practice. But all of them, they have the power to transform the way you feel and how the world sees you. So whether you're 60, 70, or 85, pour a cup of tea, get cozy, and lean in. Let's talk about the habits that make us truly irresistible, not just to others, but to ourselves. Let's begin with the very first habit. Habit 1. She cultivates inner peace. Irresistibility begins inside, where no one can see but everyone can feel. A woman who radiates calm, no matter what's swirling around her, becomes a magnet in the chaos of the world. Inner peace isn't about ignoring problems. It's about knowing who you are in spite of them. She starts her day quietly, perhaps with prayer, a slow breath, or journaling. She doesn't react, she responds. She's learned that protecting her peace is not selfish, it's a necessity. She guards her time, her energy, and her space because they're sacred. And when she speaks, it's never hurried. Her calm steadiness makes others feel safe, grounded, and drawn in. That kind of peace? It's irresistible. Habit 2. She speaks with purpose, not for attention. You've heard it said, less is more. The most magnetic older women I know don't speak to impress. They speak to connect. They've moved beyond the need to prove themselves. Their words are chosen carefully, not wasted on gossip, complaints, or smallness. She knows that silence can be more powerful than noise. She pauses before answering. She listens deeply. She speaks from truth, not ego. And when she says something, you lean in, because you know it matters. Habit 3. She laughs often and easily. There's something deeply attractive about a woman who laughs with her whole soul, not at others, but with them, with life, and even with herself. She's not bitter. She doesn't carry old grudges like battle scars. Instead, she chooses joy, sometimes in the smallest moments. A bird on her window, a memory from years ago, a little misstep in the kitchen. She laughs, and that sound is light. It lifts everyone near her. People want to be around her because her laughter is permission to exhale, to not take life so seriously all the time. Habit 4. She has clear personal boundaries. Contrary to what we're told, being irresistible isn't about being available to everyone. It's about being clear about what you allow into your life. And older women who are deeply attractive, they have boundaries, not walls, but gentle fences that say, I love myself enough to protect my peace. She doesn't explain or apologize for choosing rest over obligation. She's not afraid to say no thank you, or that doesn't work for me. She knows that being kind doesn't mean being used, and being giving doesn't mean being drained. And this strength, quiet, clear, and loving, makes her deeply respected, even admired. Habit 5. She finds meaning in solitude, not loneliness. Solitude. There's a powerful difference. A woman who enjoys her own company carries a glow of self-contentment that no crowd can offer. She doesn't need to be the center of attention. She doesn't cling to constant busyness or noise to feel important. Instead, she walks in the garden, reads without rushing, reflects with a gentle heart. Her solitude is not empty. It's rich. It's in her quiet moments that her soul speaks. And when she shows up in the world, she does so whole, because she's already connected to herself. That kind of wholeness. It's magnetic. These inner habits aren't loud. They're not flashy. But they carry a quiet power that draws people near, without you ever needing to chase attention. And the truth is, these are habits you can begin cultivating at any age. Even if life has been noisy or chaotic until now, today is a perfect day to begin again, to pause, to breathe, to choose peace, and to remember you don't have to change who you are. Just return to the woman you've always been underneath. Now that we've explored the inner foundation, let's move into the second realm, what you do on the outside that reflects this powerful inner shift. Let's talk about outer habits that make older women glow with elegance, strength, and natural allure. Habit 6. She dresses with elegant simplicity. Let's talk about how she dresses. It's not about labels, it's not about trends, and it's definitely not about trying to look younger. It's about expressing self-respect without saying a word. The irresistible older woman chooses quality over quantity. She doesn't clutter her wardrobe with dozens of pieces she never wears. Instead, she curates a few timeless, flattering items that make her feel dignified. Think soft neutrals, structured silhouettes, natural fabrics like linen and cotton that breathe and move with her. She understands the power of a well-fitted blazer, a simple black dress, or tailored pants that elongate her legs and lift her energy. And she's not afraid to add a pop of character, a silk scarf, a beautiful brooch, or a necklace that tells a story. Her style says, I know who I am. I dress for myself. I honor my age. And that, in a world full of fast fashion and loud statements, is unforgettable. Habit 7. She moves with poise and confidence. Irresistibility is not just seen, it's felt in how you carry yourself. An older woman who moves with grace sends a message without speaking. I am here. I am whole. I am enough. She stands tall, shoulders relaxed, chin lifted, not stiff, but self-assured. When she walks into a room, she doesn't rush. Her steps are steady, measured, intentional. She takes up space without apology. And whether she's walking through a grocery store or entering a social gathering, people notice her, not because she demands attention, but because she's fully present in her own body. Poise doesn't require youth. It requires self-awareness. And when a woman cultivates it, her presence becomes magnetic. Habit 8. She maintains her grooming ritual. Some may think grooming is frivolous. But let's be honest, how we care for ourselves on the outside reflects how we feel on the inside. The irresistible older woman doesn't aim for perfection. She aims for care. Clean, moisturized skin. Soft, brushed hair, styled or simply pulled back with intention. Nails that are neat and healthy. Makeup, if she wears it, is used to enhance, not mask. Maybe just a little blush, mascara, and a lipstick in a flattering tone. Her grooming is not about impressing others. It's a quiet ritual of self-respect. She looks in the mirror and says, not out loud, but in spirit, you're worth taking care of. And that energy radiates. Habit 9. She smells subtly wonderful. Scent is powerful. It's the most emotionally evocative sense, and often the most remembered. Irresistible older women don't overwhelm the room with perfume. Instead, they choose a soft signature scent, maybe floral, maybe musky, maybe citrus or sandalwood. Just a gentle trace behind the ear, or on the wrist. But beyond perfume, they smell like care. Freshly laundered clothes, clean skin. The comforting scent of their home, perhaps lavender or cinnamon or rose. These little sensory touches become part of their presence. And long after they've left, people remember she smelled like comfort, like elegance, like home. Habit 10. She honors her health daily. Irresistibility isn't about having a perfect figure. It's about having energy, about moving through life with vitality, balance, and ease. The older woman who honors her health radiates a natural glow, not from makeup, but from inside her cells. She drinks water, enough to hydrate her skin and her brain. She nourishes her body with real food colors from the earth, not chemicals in a box. She moves every day, not to punish her body, but to celebrate it. Maybe it's a morning stretch, a graceful walk, or a gentle yoga class. Maybe it's dancing in the kitchen to her favorite music, or lifting light weights to keep her bones strong. She listens to her body's wisdom, not society's pressure. She rests when needed. She breathes deeply. She takes her vitamins, checks her posture, and sleeps like she deserves peace. And it's not about fitting into an old dress. It's about being able to garden, play with her grandchildren, or travel with ease. This vitality is quiet, but unmistakable. People feel it in her eyes, her energy, her rhythm, and they're drawn to it, because it says, I'm not done, I'm alive, and I'm thriving. These outer habits are not about vanity. They're about reverence for the body, the senses, and the image we carry into the world. When you walk with grace, care for your appearance, and treat your body like the sacred vessel it is, you don't just look irresistible, you feel it. And when your inner calm meets your outer elegance, that's when your presence becomes unforgettable. Now let's move into the third and final part of our journey: the social and spiritual habits that shape how you connect with others and with your deeper self. Habit 11. She builds others up. There's a quiet kind of power in a woman who no longer competes, but uplifts. She doesn't need to be the center of the spotlight. She becomes the light that helps others shine. Irresistible older women have learned one of life's greatest truths, that giving encouragement costs nothing, but it can change everything. She compliments without hesitation. She smiles when others succeed. She says things like, "That color looks beautiful on you. You're doing a wonderful job. I'm proud of how far you've come." In a world often fueled by criticism and comparison, her voice is refreshing, like a soft breeze on a heavy day. And what's even more compelling, she doesn't flatter to gain favor. She builds others up because she knows who she is. She's already proven what she needed to. She doesn't dim another woman's light. She helps adjust the crown on her head. She cheers for her children, mentors young women, and finds joy in helping others grow. People are drawn to her, not because she demands attention, but because she gives what we all crave: kindness with no agenda. That's a rare and irresistible trait. And the ripple effect of this habit, it creates a legacy, one of warmth, wisdom, and deep respect. Because in the end, we may not remember every word someone said, but we always remember how they made us feel. And she makes people feel seen. Habit 12. She practices graciousness and gratitude. If elegance had a scent, it would be gratitude. If grace had a voice, it would sound like thankfulness spoken aloud. Irresistible older women move through the world with graciousness, not because life has always been easy, but because they've chosen to see the beauty anyway. She says thank you, not just for grand gestures, but for the everyday moments: the warm coffee in the morning, the neighbor who waves, the aching knees that still carried her through another day. She thanks the nurse who takes her blood pressure. She smiles at the stranger who holds the door. She's not entitled. She's enchanted by life's small wonders. And here's the truth: gratitude softens the face. It lifts the spirit. It changes the way you enter a room, because people can feel when you carry appreciation instead of bitterness. Graciousness is her way of living. She forgives faster, not for others, but for her own peace. She lets go of old grudges because she knows holding on to anger ages the spirit faster than any wrinkle ever could. She's generous with praise, gentle with criticism, and patient with those still finding their way. That gentleness, that thankfulness, it lingers in the air after she leaves the room. And perhaps most importantly, she's grateful for herself, her body, her story, her scars, her survival. She doesn't dwell on what she's lost. She honors what she's gained: wisdom, resilience, perspective. This kind of woman, she doesn't just age, she blossoms. And her gratitude is the garden she's planted around her soul. When you build others up and live with graciousness and gratitude, you don't just inspire people, you change the atmosphere around you. And without ever saying it, the world looks at you and whispers, "There goes a woman who is truly beautiful." Habit 13. She engages with curiosity. Curiosity is a form of love, and an irresistible older woman. She's endlessly curious, not just about the world, but about people. When she speaks to someone, whether it's a grandchild, a stranger, or a store clerk, she leans in with interest. She asks questions. She listens not to reply, but to understand. She's the kind of woman who can sit beside anyone and make them feel seen, because she genuinely wants to know what lights them up. She doesn't assume. She doesn't judge. She asks, "What was your favorite part of today? What are you learning right now? Tell me your story." And people respond, because in a world addicted to speaking, being listened to feels like being held. She also engages with the world around her. She notices the shifting sky, the way music stirs the soul, the story behind a painting, a flower, or a moment of silence. This curiosity keeps her young not in body, but in spirit. It keeps her from becoming cynical. It allows her to meet each day as if life still has something to offer, because it does. And the beauty of it, curious women are not only more open-minded, they're also more loved, because people are naturally drawn to those who make them feel heard, valued, and worth discovering. Habit 14. She keeps learning and growing. There's something irresistible about a woman who never stops evolving. She's not stuck in her ways. She's rooted in her values, but open to new ideas, new skills, and new chapters. Whether she's 60, 70, or 85, she believes, "I'm not done growing." She reads not just out of habit, but hunger. She watches documentaries, listens to podcasts, takes classes. She might learn a new recipe this week and study ancient philosophy the next. And her learning isn't limited to books, it's life-based. She reflects on her mistakes. She asks what the hard moments are trying to teach her. She's not afraid to unlearn outdated thinking or challenge her own assumptions. This kind of growth-mindedness is rare, because many people choose comfort over change. But she knows that the moment we stop growing, we begin to shrink. She's curious about technology, not intimidated by it. She learns a new app, sends a voice message, even tries her hand at digital photography or a Zoom book club. Not because she has to, but because she wants to stay awake in a changing world. And here's the truth. A woman who keeps growing never becomes irrelevant. She remains mentally vibrant, emotionally agile, and spiritually radiant. In conversations, she has stories, insights, and a fresh perspective. People admire her not because she's trying to keep up, but because she's choosing to show up as a learner, as a contributor, as a fully alive woman. Her growth is a quiet rebellion against stagnation, and that makes her unforgettable. When you combine curiosity with a lifelong desire to grow, something magical happens. You don't just age, you expand. Your mind stays open, your heart stays soft, and your life stays meaningful. And that, dear one, is a kind of beauty the world desperately needs. Habit 15. She lives by her values. There's something deeply, quietly magnetic about a woman who knows who she is and chooses to live that truth every single day. The irresistible older woman isn't perfect, but she's aligned. She's reached a point in life where she no longer performs for approval. She doesn't bend her beliefs to fit in. She doesn't betray herself to keep the peace. Instead, she lives by her values. Not just in what she says, but in how she behaves, how she treats others, and how she shows up in the world. Her values may be honesty, compassion, faith, kindness, loyalty, or grace. And you feel those values the moment you meet her. She's kind but not a doormat. She's firm but never cruel. She holds space for other people's beliefs but doesn't shrink from her own. She doesn't gossip because she values respect. She doesn't chase trends because she values authenticity. She doesn't waste time with drama because she values peace. And it's not always easy. Living by your values means making hard choices. It means walking away when something feels wrong, even when others don't understand. It means saying no to what looks good, so you can say yes to what feels right. But the woman who lives like this, she becomes a lighthouse. Not loud, not flashy, just steady, anchored in her truth. And people sense it. They trust her. They admire her. They remember her. Younger women come to her for advice, not because she has all the answers, but because she lives with integrity. Friends call her when they need wisdom, not noise. Family members find comfort in her presence because she offers clarity, not confusion. Living by your values is one of the most powerful things you can do as a woman over 60, because it gives your life a soul signature. You don't need to wear a badge. You don't need to prove anything. The way you walk through the world becomes your legacy. And the best part? You don't have to shout your values. You just have to live them, day by day, choice by choice. And in doing so, you become more than irresistible. You become unshakable, rooted, radiant, respected. So many chase attraction through appearance. But true magnetism, it's born in the soul. And a woman who lives by her values doesn't chase attention. She commands respect, without ever asking for it. You see, true irresistibility doesn't come from trying to impress the world. It comes from becoming more of who you truly are. A woman over 60 who lives with intention, grace, and quiet strength. She doesn't need to chase attention. She radiates presence. These 15 habits are not about being perfect. They're about choosing, every day, to live with more peace, more kindness, more truth. To soften where you've hardened. To speak where you've been silent. To love the woman you've become, even more deeply than ever before. If one of these habits spoke to your heart today, hold on to it, nurture it, let it shape how you show up tomorrow. And remember, you are not past your prime. You are in your power years. And the world needs the kind of beauty that only time, growth, and wisdom can create. Which habit felt the most true for you? I'd love to hear in the comments. Let's learn from one another. If this video inspired you, please give it a thumbs up. It helps others find content that honors elegant, empowered aging. And if you want more videos that celebrate the grace and strength of women over 60, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. We're building a beautiful space here, and you belong in it. Thank you for spending this time with me. Now go out into the world, not to be noticed, but to be remembered.